I'm live. Hello. Hello, YouTube. Hey. Hello. How are you guys? How's it going? How is life? How's our personal development journeys? How's business going? Of course, please drop in the comments how your business is going, how your personal development journey is going. How's anything that I've spoken to on this channel, on this platform, how's it all going for you? Hello, how's it going? We all know I don't know, I've kind of gotten in the habit of starting with YouTube and finishing with YouTube. So in that, I definitely had to start here. So we are live on YouTube, live on Instagram. Perfect. Hello. And Facebook. Last but not least, Facebook. Perfect. And we are here. Hello. How are you guys? Can you see me okay? Hello. I am Cornisha. I'm a purpose and personal development coach. And I'm so honored to be here. I'm so grateful to be here. It is Wednesday, amazing Wednesday. And I won't be before you guys long. I know I say that really often. Hello. How are we? Look at I always jack up my Facebook. Okay. Perfect. I'm going to leave it alone and hopefully it doesn't fall. How are we doing? Hello. I am Cornisha. If you are new to me, welcome. If you're not new, then welcome on back. I'm live on Facebook. I'm live on Instagram and YouTube. I'm so blessed to be here. And I'm going to get started. Today, we're talking about, we have a really bomb topic on today. We're talking about the process of, or the battle of distractions versus discipline, or as I put, discipline versus distraction. It's a huge thing. And I have planned content, but I like to be human. And in my journey lately, this has been a thing for me. And for a lot of my clients, I've spoken with them, and all of the questions have been personal development related. How do I deal with distractions? How do I deal with discipline? Or this is just hard for me. What do you think? What can I have your input? And in that, I had to, in giving my input, in coaching clients through how to successfully maneuver through this battle, because it's a daily battle. Yes, you may be successful at it today, and tomorrow it could trigger something that has you fighting. So with that being said, the discipline and distraction is definitely a thing. And I know on Monday night's live, I did share some tips on how to just maneuver throughout your day. I believe I still have my notes here, actually. All right, here. Yeah, I still have my notes here. And in maneuvering through all of that, there are it's a process. So in dealing with the discipline side of it, we're going to start with discipline. And dealing with the discipline side of it, there's levels to it. You can't wake up and think, okay, I set this goal. I'm going to work on my self-care, and in that, I'm going to do facials every single day. And trust me, something's going to happen. The moment you speak that thing into existence, you're not purposely inviting the distractions, but when you speak it into existence, to the Lord. You speak it in existence to the devil too. He hears you. So with that being said, the distractions are going to come. They're bound to come. But the difference in your process and the difference in your journey is knowing and honoring that the distractions are on their way, or blindly walking without direction, blindly walking without direction, and realize that, oh my gosh, something happened. I wasn't prepared for that. But in the lessons of learning how to be disciplined versus how to prepare and maneuver through the distractions, that's where we grow. That's where we grow. That's where our character is evolving. That's where we activate the new level of leadership. So with that being said, it's okay. It's ultimately okay. But like I say, in entrepreneurship, I vow to be honest, transparent, let you guys know where I am in the process, how my process is going. And I've definitely struggled with distractions. Definitely. To the point where I had to kind of take a step back and apply the knowledge that I teach. Apply the knowledge that I teach. How I tell you guys, okay, when you're dealing with procrastination and overwhelm, you have to generate a schedule. I just said this Monday night. You have to generate a schedule. You have to utilize a calendar. You have to create and apply a daily checklist. And that's with knowledge in general. You don't only take in the knowledge, you apply it. Knowledge is power, but applied knowledge, that's where it's at. Applied knowledge is what actually gets you to where you're supposed to be. Applied knowledge is what gets you to your destiny. Applied knowledge with discipline. There's no force out there that could counteract that. There's no force out there that could minimize your efforts when it comes to discipline, when it comes to actually having a schedule, utilizing these tools to help you in your success. And it's not in just entrepreneurship, it's in personal development as well. Our moms out there, if you're a mom, you know good and well you have a to-do list out this world. So with that, generating a schedule could be useful for you. It can. It could prevent the overwhelm. Not to get too far off topic, because tonight we're talking about discipline versus distraction, okay? So let's talk about it. Discipline. Discipline is excuse me. Discipline is the training. Oh my gosh, Facebook. Okay, Facebook. I see you. It's back. It's back. Alrighty, so back to my notes. Discipline is the training of people to obey rules or a code or behavior. So basically, discipline, like I say, it's not only learning the code, it's not only learning the behavior, it's applying it to your life. Discipline is actually using and applying the knowledge. It's training to fix incorrect behavior or enhance your skills. That's discipline. And whether you're on a personal development journey, whether you're on an entrepreneurship journey, whether you're so-called not on a journey at all, but just happen to be tuning in, are you at all seeking anything different from where you are now? Are you at all seeking anything different from what you have now? Do you want expanded finances? Do you want stability in your schedule? Do you want to get off of that job? Do you want a little more free time and want to keep your job? What does that look like for you? So yes, I'm a life coach, but I don't only speak to the folks who are in entrepreneurship. I speak to the folks who are seeking personal development, or the folks who say, hey, I'm not on an entrepreneurship journey, I'm not on a personal development journey, but I'm tuning in. If you're a person that wants better or different from where you are, this can apply to you. Discipline can apply to you. Discipline is actually knowing and applying the rules that can get you to where you need to be. I know for sure there's a lot of us, maybe we want to lose weight, or maybe we want to eat healthier, or maybe we want to learn a new skill. It takes 10,000 hours to learn a new skill. 10,000 hours. 10,000. It's 24 hours in a day. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, discipline is a process. It's a process. So, in the journey of actually embracing discipline, you have to understand that you still got to be graceful with yourself. Don't overexert yourself. Like I say, the folks who are seeking to lose weight, you can't pick up on that first day and think you're going to run 6 miles. You got to be graceful with yourself, especially if you want to do it again tomorrow. You got to be graceful. It's okay. However, discipline is a thing. It's a thing. And not to jump ahead in my notes, but there are perks to activating and embracing discipline in your life. There's perks to it. Discipline allows for you to avoid the distractions. Discipline creates studious leaders. Are you a leader of your household? Are you a leader over your children? Are you a leader in your church? Are you a leader in your job? It enhances that leadership ability. It does. Discipline. Discipline. It activates creativity, strengthens your vision, improves your goal setting. Discipline helps you. So if you're at a place where you're seeking anything different from where you are now, if you want a new car, you got to work hard to get that new car. Whether it's working hard to finance or working hard to purchase it, that's none of my business. But you got to work hard for it. You do. You got to work hard for it. Like they say, faith without works is dead. We have the faith, but we got to do what? We got to work. We got to work, and it's okay. It's okay. We all have to work for something. We all have to embrace discipline to actually get to where we want to be. So just because you're at that place where you're weeding out the distractions or having to say no a little more often than you like, it's okay. We all have been there, done that, and that's why we all should create safe environments for the folks who say, you know what, I got to be a little more disciplined. Let them do it safely and still love them and still be there for them. Let them do it, because at the end of the day, again, discipline activates creativity. It strengthens your vision. It helps you get to where you're supposed to be. It helps you get to where you're going. So make room for the folks that you love, the folks that are in your core circle while they're on their journey, whether you've already made it through yours or you're going to join them in it. Make room for them to be on this journey safely, because they're going to need it. And it's a lot of different things. There's different fears that come with each journey. There are different trials that come with each journey. There are different headaches that come with each journey. So if you're on the discipline journey with them, kudos to you, because it's hard. Also, be mindful that they go through so many emotions that they're going to need love. They're going to need support. They're going to need grace. So be graceful and be understanding when the answer is no, because they have a plan and they have a vision. That's all. That's all. That's all. Discipline, something that I learned. I learned and I had to reactivate and re-implement in my day-to-day plans. Discipline is synonymous to persistence. It's a state of mind, and persistence in itself. It's a state of mind and an attitude to be developed. An attitude to be developed. So if discipline is synonymous to persistence and persistence has to be developed, discipline is what? A process. It has to be developed as well. It does. And that's okay. And I'm bringing light to this because, like I say, I vow to be a demonstration in entrepreneurship. Yes, I offer things, I offer courses, and I offer coaching, but that's minimal. I vow to be a demonstration. So, in that, I have to be honest and say that building the strength to be disciplined every single day is a process. Entrepreneurship in itself is a process. If you're not an entrepreneur, life in itself is a process. There's ups, there's downs. One day you're good, the next day you're not. So, with that being said, we have to be graceful with ourselves in general. We have to provide grace. But in providing grace, you have to provide balance. You don't want to provide too much grace to the point where we activate that laziness, okay? We can't do that either. We want to make sure we stay disciplined in our journey. However, be graceful with yourselves because it's a process. Again, it's a state of mind and an attitude that has to be developed. That's why we require persistency in it, simply because you're developing it. And a lot of people think, oh, well, to be disciplined and to be consistent in this thing that I do, I have to dedicate about 2 hours a day. I got to dedicate so much of my time, and I can't because I have the dog and the kids and the this and the that. And no, 15 minutes a day is consistency. Actually making the time, the little time that you can in a day, that's discipline. Allowing yourself TV time because you earned it and not because you want it, that's discipline. I love Chicago Fire. I love Chicago Fire. I've been wanting to watch it all day, but I can't. Not until after I'm done with this, because then I'm free to do what I need to do. Well, what I want to do. But before that, I have goals. I have dreams. I have aspirations. And I am running the business. So with that being said, I don't have time to watch Chicago Fire before 7:30. And that's a sacrifice, which is another part of discipline. You got to sacrifice to do it daily. You have to sacrifice. That part wasn't even in my notes, but we're going to add it. You have to sacrifice. Anything worth having is worth sacrificing for. And you don't sacrifice tangibly, not with money. That's not the only way to sacrifice. You sacrifice your time. You sacrifice your sleep. You sacrifice your mental health. You sacrifice a lot. And it's okay to do that. That's where the discipline comes in, to know that regardless of what I got going on, I have to sacrifice because I want it so bad. I want it so bad, so I'm going to sacrifice for it. Discipline. That's it. Discipline. Also, discipline activates the strength required to be persistent. I spoke to you guys about discipline. I spoke to you about persistency. But to take it a step further, discipline activates the strength required to be persistent in prioritizing your priorities. So all the things that are priorities to you, discipline activates the strength that's needed to be persistent. So you got to be disciplined so that you could be strong and being persistent in what you're doing. It's a process. Again, it's a process. So in that, like I say, I'm not only speaking to the folks who work. I'm not only speaking to the folks who are in entrepreneurship. If you're in life in general and you want different from where you are, this applies to you. It does. And discipline is that thing that can take us to the next level. Discipline can take our finances to the next level. It can take our health to the next level. It can take our families to the next level. How many of us have things going on in our core circle and we're like, I want to see better for us. I want us to do better than that. I want us to accept better than that, you know? And it's not to down anybody. I know for sure. Picking on myself. I've been the girl who could have raised her standards a bit. I've been the girl who could have tolerated less, a lot. So with that being said, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not shaming anybody. I'm just introducing different. I'm introducing different, and I'm creating an environment for us to talk about it, because people don't like to talk about things. And at the end of the day, that's why mental health is such a high commodity right now, because a lot of people are talking about it, but that's because we have to create our own safe spaces, because we don't have that in our core circle, in our work environment, in our family life, whatever that is for you. And that's where activating discipline can help you, simply because This morning, I recalibrated my daily schedule for everything entrepreneurship, personal development. I recalibrated my schedule. In recalibrating that schedule alone, today has been more successful than my full last week. Yes, today has been more successful than 7 days. And it's simply because I created I revised my schedule. And like I always say, anything without direction is doomed for distraction. And it's time for us to weed out the distractions, especially if they don't contribute to our success, if they don't contribute to our mental health. That's a thing for me. I'm not sacrificing it any longer. I'm not. I can't do it. I just can't. So with that, I encourage you guys to do the same. If you can't, it's a process. Either way, it's a process. It is okay. That's why, like I say, I have planned content, but sometimes I feel led to just show up as me, show up with my problems, show up as a human, just to say, regardless, if I'm going through it, I know I can't be by myself. And so far, the distractions are coming left and right. Coming left and right. KK, they coming left and right to the point where I'm going to take a page out of your book and I'm considering moving. I am. And it's a personal thing. It's a business thing. But in that, I realize like the distractions are here and it takes strength to be able to say, you know what? I can't do it. And I'm not always that strong. Like, that's my truth. If it's somebody I love, if it's somebody that means a lot to me, a family member, it's hard to say no. It's hard to say no. So it makes me feel like I should be less tangible sometimes. So that's why, because right now I'm still at where I am. Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna type my and pin. I'll just send you the link. I'll send you the link to my academy. And what you do, you go on there and you'll click book Cornisha at the top. You'll click that and it'll give you two options. You can book a personal development session or a business session. I know you're a business coach, so you may only seek personal development. That's okay. That's ultimately okay. But yes, go on my academy. I'm gonna try to type this link real quick without my phone falling. And yeah, I'm telling you, I understand. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I couldn't because last year at this time I got promoted. So with that, all my plans had to go to the wayside. But God knows all. God knows all, because a year later I'm living the dream that I didn't even see at the time. If I could spell it right. Okay, I believe I spelled it right. I don't have my glasses on. Coaching Academy. Yeah. Okay. I just put the link there. I need both still. Okay. Definitely book them. And we got to talk anyway. We do. So yes, that's perfect. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. But yes, I vow to show up and have these conversations because not many of us are having the conversations. Or we want to have the conversations, but we're around these folks. That's what I'm gonna call them. We're around these folks who don't want to be real, don't want to be human. They want to label and, oh girl, you tripping, you just emotional today. No, this is a problem. And if I'm the only one that see it, you force my hand at removing myself. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that person, but you make me do it because I can't tolerate all this. I can't do it. I'm focused. I'm too focused. I have a vision and I have to get there. I can no longer delay it. And that's what discipline activates. It activates the will and the strength to say, you know what? Not anymore. I'm not tolerating this. I'm tired of this. I want better. And it's not easy. It's not easy at all. There are journeys that I initiated last year that are still a journey. Genuinely, they're still a journey. But in that, it's about not giving up. It's about not giving up, and it's about being disciplined in your process, because the success doesn't come overnight regardless. It does not come overnight regardless. So back to my notes. Discipline. It activates the strength that's required to be persistent in prioritizing your priorities, even when you're tired of trying. Even when you're tired of trying. And like I say, in entrepreneurship and business, you got to know your mission. You got to know your purpose. You have to know your why, simply because without knowing that, you're kind of inviting distraction and destruction, because there's no direction. There's no direction. And you can have all the money in the world, but without purpose, you will still be miserable. And please know, this is me speaking, preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir. You can have all the money in the world, but without purpose, you still will not be happy. You will not be truly satisfied. And I'm speaking from experience. Speaking from experience. I don't have foresight in all aspects of my life, but simply because I live a life of purpose, it's so much more enjoyable than what my life was a year ago today. And trust me, my finances were way different a year ago today. So with that being said, it's ultimately okay to make hard decisions for yourself. It is. It's okay. And the more that we do it, the more that we activate it, the more that we demonstrate that, the more acceptable it'll be to the folks around us. And we all know, if there's plenty of people around us who could use some recalibration in their character, in their demeanor, the way they show up in the world. And I've learned influence speaks way louder than words. Influence speaks so much louder than words. It does, it does, it does. So, with that being said, it's absolutely nothing wrong with you demonstrating what you need from the folks around you, so that when the time comes where they ask for input or criticism, or environment is created for you to voice your opinion, you can voice it confidently and knowing, I require this because I bring this to the table. I require this because I activate this. I require this because I demonstrate this. And I know it's hard and I know what comes with it, but this version of me today, I require it. And I'm not changing my mind. I will not. I cannot. I kind of can't. And discipline gives you the strength to do that, even on your hard days. Even on the days when it's hard, discipline helps you do that. Having, like I said, Monday's notes, generate a schedule for yourself. The moment you have a schedule over every single hour of your day, I don't have time to talk to you for an hour on the phone about what we cooking for dinner. I don't have time to do that. I have a plan. I have a schedule. Utilize a calendar. Utilize a calendar. No offense to Androids. We all got iPhones. We all got Androids. We all got all kinds of smartphones with all kinds of apps. Utilize a calendar. Utilize reminders. It helps. It helps. It helps. It does. Create and apply a daily checklist, especially if you're in entrepreneurship, especially if you're working a 9 to 5 and want to transition into entrepreneurship full time. Utilize a checklist. It'll help you. Utilize it and apply it. Generate it and apply it. Don't just type the checklist up on Google, on Word, Docs, whatever you use. Don't just type it up. Print it out and use it. Print it out and use it. And watch how your world change. Like, don't do it for me, do it for you. And watch the changes that it brings to your life. It will change things. It will change things. A tip that I learned about discipline recently, just today, actually. about 2 days ago, I redid my office. So if y'all notice, this is a totally different angle. I redid my office, and in that, I was able to kind of recalibrate as I was cleaning. I'm the type of person, cleaning is therapy for me. So with that, I was able to recalibrate some things that I did. And I learned when you're tired of trying and cannot try harder in that area, you may have to just recalibrate the full thing, the full path that you're on, recalibrate the plan, execute differently. Because if you're tired and you're experiencing burnout and you try it and just don't know what else to do, that could be it. That could be it. You may have to try a different approach. It may not be your business. It may not be your offers. It may not be your sales. It could simply be the fact that you have to try a different approach. Maybe you're working harder and not smarter, and God's like, no, there's an easier way for you to do this. And I need for you to do it the easy way now, because when your success comes, we won't have time for recalibration. When you reach the peak of your success, we won't have time for you to go back and recalibrate the operations of your business. So with that being said, yes, it's time for us to do all the recalibration now. If image is a problem, fix it. For myself, like I said, vocabulary was a fear of mine. I'm not even going to say that it was an issue, because I hear different things, and I know for sure I'm intentional about the way I speak. So with that being said, vocabulary was more of a fear than a real insecurity, but it was a thing for me. So what did I do? I recalibrated that. I made sure I enhanced my vocabulary. So when I came forward with what I wanted to do, you didn't miss anything. You did not miss much. Okay, a real quick tip that I did say: when you're tired of trying and cannot try harder, sometimes we have to try a different path. That was the only real thing that you missed. Sometimes we have to try a different path. We may be working harder and not smarter in our journey. And of course, when we make room for things, when we manifest things, God is waiting on us to get to where we need to be so that He could say, here you go. So with that being said, it's up to us to recalibrate everything that needs recalibrating now, because the success is coming. If you activate discipline, the success is coming. So recalibrate as you're activating, because it's on its way. And you don't want to have to recalibrate at the peak of your success. You don't want to have to recalibrate when business is booming. So with that being said, activating discipline and reconsidering what's going on in this moment, considering a new path, a new direction, new offers, that will help us in our process. On a personal development level, with discipline, if you want, like I say, let's say you want your hair longer. YouTube has so many hair growth regimens, it's crazy. Do it. Let's say you want to learn a new skill. YouTube has a lot. Do it. Do it. It's that simple. On a personal development level, let's say you want to try skincare. Look it up on YouTube. I'm sure there's a lot of reviews. Everything down from car maintenance, auto maintenance is on YouTube nowadays. So because of that, YouTube is a gym within itself. So the only thing that you missed is that we have to activate discipline in all areas of our life, because when what God has for us is for us. So it's up to us to properly make room for it. Another thing, I've been trying to make sure I'm relatable to all audiences. So with that being said, I know for sure I speak to the folks who already are operational in business. I speak to the folks who are teeter-tottering, like, do I want to start a business? Do I not? And I speak to the people who are like, look, I only want to work a 9-to-5. Don't talk to me about entrepreneurship. I don't want it. So with that being said, I try to make sure I'm relatable to all audiences, because more importantly, I want to influence folks to try personal development because it works. So with that being said, I realized. Okay, discipline reveals work ethic. Discipline reveals our work ethic. How disciplined you are is a revelation of how well you work. That's first. Work ethic reveals character. Work ethic reveals character. And I know for sure that is true when it comes to myself. Because when I was in corporate America, oh, child. Oh, child. I worked my tail to the bone, but a deficiency of mine was that I was cocky because I knew there weren't many people who could outwork me. So, with that being said, they try to tell me to do certain things. And if I know that's the same certain thing that they letting slide over there, don't talk to me about it. Because I'm going to pull your card and I'm going to let you know. But at the end of the day, that revealed the fact that my character didn't ultimately reflect integrity. It reflected, I'm going to do enough to stay off your radar, but I'm going to see what I could get away with. And that's not how I want to represent myself. Truthfully, it's not. And soon after that, I got promoted. So all that mess had to go out the window anyway. While I thought I was pulling other folks' card, my card got pulled in the midst of me getting promoted. But it's still a blessing because I was able to grow in my character. I was able to elevate in my character. And I'm able to sit back and laugh at it now because I know good and well I could have done things differently. I could have. So please remember, whether you're in corporate America, whether you are working for yourself, whatever that looks like for you, discipline reveals work ethic. It does. It reveals it. So how disciplined you are is a reflection on how hard you work. Your work ethic reveals your character. Your character and your leadership abilities is what build the business. So with that being said, do you really want to take that messiness into your business? Do you really want to take that nastiness into your business? The attitude, the sarcasm. Like I say, in corporate America, I was a beast. I definitely was a human. I was a person. I was one of the youngest. So because of that, I had to stand my ground. And there was a lot of times people would come to me incorrectly. And the first thing I'd say, I'm grown just like you grown. Please don't think you could talk to me that way because I'm grown just like you grown. So with that being said, the when we're operating in leadership standpoints, when we're operating from a leadership ability, I guess I can't think of the word that I want to say, but when we're operating from that standpoint, it's up to us to be specific about our influence. It's up to us to be specific about how we run our business, because the folks under us, the folks we hire, the folks we outsource, they're going to do half of what we say and all of what we do. So if we're last minute and don't have an ounce of time management, what do we think they're going to do? They're going to send us all of our work last minute. They're not going to manage their time. They're going to be inconsistent. So with that being said, discipline is meant for us to activate and demonstrate. It's meant. It's meant. And times like now, when we're talking about random topics, but it's relatable to everybody, that's how we know it's divine for this to be a conversation. It's divine for us to hear this. It's divine for us to talk about it, simply because I'm not the only one going through it. And that's why I'm here having this conversation, because I know I'm not the only one dealing with it. I know I'm not. I can't be. Mm-mm. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. Last but not least, distraction. I like to call it just that thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. That's like the dictionary definition. But I like to call it that demon that wants to prevent my purpose. Like, let's call it what it is. What they say, I'm gonna call a spade a spade. Like, it's literally a demon. I feel like it's that strong. Because the moment I say, I'm gonna be disciplined in my fitness, I'm gonna be disciplined in my eating habits, I'm gonna be disciplined in my spirituality, the moment I speak those things into existence, I'm getting calls about all kind of random stuff that don't mean nothing to nothing. Like, it means me no good. It does, like, it just doesn't. And it's irritating and it's draining because I'm trying to run a business that can't run itself, but there's no consideration of my business or what I have going on simply because they want to tell me about whatever. Whatever. And it's frustrating. It is. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. But another revelation, distractions are not only external. Distractions are not only external. They're not. They're not at all. And this is something, it's something that I struggle with because it's good and bad. I'm in the process of getting comfortable with saying no to the external distractions. You want to go out to eat? No, I can't. You want to go to the mall? No, I can't. You want to go out? Maybe later, not right now. Like, I just can't. But there are also internal distractions. Internal distractions. And I know you guys are like, wait, what you saying? How I'm going to distract myself? The same way we do every single day. By turning on that TV, we distracting ourselves. Sometimes by listening to an audiobook when we know we should be writing a course or writing a book or doing some positive and productive. What's that thing you've been putting off? Is it working out? Is it doing laundry? Maybe you should clean out your car. Maybe clean out the refrigerator. What is that thing that we've been putting off? Those are internal distractions. I'm telling you, it's a thing. It's a thing. And for me, it's a catch-22 because my biggest internal distraction is I can't keep up with my thoughts. Like, yes. And what I did, oh my gosh, see? This was meant. I'm definitely the same. In working from home, yes, in working from home, it's not always easy to stay focused on one task because at the end of the day, you're staring at the four walls all the time. So with that being said, sometimes we have to switch our tasks. I know for sure for myself, I in a daily, I have to have my emails ready for the next day, if not further out. I have to have my notes for my 7:30 lives. Trust me, I love speaking. I love talking. I'm learning to love this. However, I'm not good enough to where I can remember everything. So with that being said, I have to have my notes ready. I do. I have to have my notes ready. That's just me. It's a thing. So I got to have my emails ready. I have to have my notes ready. I have to have my content ready. With that being said, I have to stay on task. But it's hard to focus on one thing. So I'll go from creating my emails to creating my content to creating my what else was it? My emails, my content, and the notes for the live. So I do everything by the day. And that way, I'm not just creating a week worth of content or a week worth of emails or a week worth of notes. So that way, it challenges my mind to shift gears and keep going versus just getting bored from doing the same thing over and over. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And that's why I say we have to recalibrate often, whether it's in business, whether it's in personal development, we have to recalibrate often. We have to. And what worked for us last week may not work for us this week. What worked for us yesterday may not work today. Like, we have to recalibrate as often as hour by the hour. So with that being said, that's where the grace comes in. We got to be graceful with ourselves. And truthfully speaking, we are doing things that we're introducing to our families. We're doing things that we're introducing to our circles. We're doing things that we're introducing to the folks around us. So with that being said, we really have to be graceful with ourselves because we're the ones who are initiating it. So we carry the stress, we carry the weight, we're carrying the not necessarily burdens, but burdens. So with that being said, be graceful. Be graceful. It's okay. It is. It's okay. And that's something that I'm learning to implement in my journey every single day, which is grace. Grace, grace, grace. We have to be graceful. But back to the internal distractions, back to those. My mind races, and I know for sure when my mind is going a mile a minute, that's good because I'm the most creative. I'm tapped into the like my max of creativity, so I love it. But if I'm not by my laptop or if I'm driving, it's frustrating because it's like I can't keep up with all these thoughts. I can't record them. So I needed to stop. So with that being said, we have to learn a balance between the internal distractions because we're just one person. We're one person. So when I'm driving, I can't be recording, oh, okay, this, that, and the third. I can't. I just can't. No. And that's not safe because we're driving. So with that being said, we have to be intentional about listening, making room for our thoughts, making room for listening to our thoughts. For myself, I incorporated journaling in this situation because my mind races often. I know for sure it's nothing more than I've activated creativity. I've been reading I've been listening to audiobooks. I've been listening to my mentors. I've been on my own coaching sessions with my coaches. So with that being said, there's a lot of information that's flowing. However, we kind of have to compartmentalize it in order to keep going in our journey. And that's why journaling often in the morning and at night, those thoughts that are weighing, okay, these are my initial thoughts in the day. Let me get these out of my head and on paper to where I can reference them if I need to, but I can get them, I can hear them, I can get them out of my head and move forward without them lingering and distracting me later because I feel like I'm procrastinating. Does that make sense? Because those thoughts are going to linger. Either you make time for them now or you make time for them later. But you have to make time for them because if not, they're just going to linger. And those are the thoughts that are going to cause procrastination or cause distraction simply because we didn't make time to hear them. And I know that's like a lot, but when you think about it, you got to make time to hear what's going on. You got to make time to not necessarily relive your day, but make time to check in with self so that you know, is there anything lingering? Am I good? Okay, I'm good. Let me move forward. That's it. Internal distractions are also unresolved emotions. Unresolved emotions. If you have unresolved turmoil with somebody, that will linger. And that will be that one thing that distracts you or that one thing that even triggers you into going backwards simply because you didn't honor it and hear it and listen to it. We have to listen to those things. And those are the things that can create the standoffishness. It may create us appearing or showing up to be standoffish when really we're not standoffish at all. It's just this happened to me, I didn't like it, and I'm trying to protect myself from going through that again. It's just if we don't honor that, if we don't listen to that, if we don't hear that out, then it will cause a distraction for us later when it's time for us to be prioritizing. And when we're in entrepreneurship or just in a personal development journey in general, you want to make sure you're disciplined. You want to make sure you're staying on task so that you can accomplish those ultimate goals. That's really all it's about. Procrastination is an internal distraction. Like I say, those things that are lingering that you should have taken care of last week, that's still on your mind. Procrastination is definitely an internal distraction. Stress. I can't stress that one enough. Genuinely. Stress is an internal distraction. And the serenity prayer, I don't want to butcher this prayer at all. I don't. However, if you don't know the serenity prayer, please look it up. Basically, it references, give me the it references, hey, listen, I need the strength to understand what I can change, the courage or wisdom to understand, the strength to understand what I can, the courage to understand what I can't change, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's something along those lines. I hate that I butchered it, but I want to give you guys the point. In the things you cannot change and you cannot control, let it go. That's where faith comes in. Whatever you cannot change, let it go. Because at the end of the day, stress is real. I was working in corporate America last year. I'm not going to say the person's name out of respect for her family, but I was working in corporate America. There was a girl who was getting picked on. I went to high school with her. She went to Cahokia High School. She was getting picked on, and I was helping retrain her because she had a boss who was willing to throw her under the bus. And I got word of that. So I reached out to her and say, hey, let me help you with some things because I hear things and I want to help you. I see that you're a mom. Let me help you. So I was retraining this girl through emails just to make sure she didn't lose her job because I thought they were going to fire her. So she had integrity. She said she didn't want to lose her job. I had it in emails. And literally, she worked hard to make sure her performance was where it needed to be so she wouldn't lose her job. Long story short, it came down to her or her boss, who is not our race. So with that being said, they fired her a week after Thanksgiving, 3 weeks before Christmas. She was about 25 at the time, maybe 25, 26. She was fired first week of December. Literally by January, I got a call that she was deceased. She passed away. And the reasoning for her death was cardiac arrest. That's stress related. And literally, it came down to, am I going to fire her or am I going to fire her boss? Firing her boss is more of a reflection on me. She hasn't had integrity in the past, so because of that, yeah, I'll fire her. It'll look right. And literally, they fired her. So with that being said, stress is not to be played with. It's an internal distraction. And it's one of those things that's going to linger, whether it's financial stress, whether it's emotional stress, whether it's stress with your family, let it go. If you can't change it, let it go, because it is life or death. It is. And the other internal distractions, they may not be that serious, but that is definitely one. It's time for us to be intentional about what we give our energy to and what we don't. And if you can't change it, activate your faith and move forward. That's the only option. That's the only way. And truthfully speaking, our lives are way too precious for us to sit and honor stress, for us to sit and give our energy to stress, for us to sit and entertain stress. So let it go. If you can't change it, if you can change it, or if you want to try it. After you try, let it go. It's all right. It's all right. I know it's hard. Reach out to the people that you know and you trust who can create a safe environment for you to vent and move forward. Don't honor stress. Don't honor it. Don't entertain it, because it is a life or death matter. It really is. External distractions, those are the common distractions that we all deal with. Television, our phones, social media, our core circle, being distracted by going out to eat, going to the mall. We have the visual distractions, like I say, television, audiobooks, radio, the auditory distractions. Those can sometimes be distractions, sometimes not. It's up to you to have discernment. It's up to you to have discernment and activate that, so you know for sure whether or not it's really helping you or if it's hindering you. And only you would know that. So, distractions versus discipline. Distractions versus discipline. I don't think I hope I didn't miss anything. Also, when it comes to distraction, this battle of distractions and discipline, in hindsight, let's make this clear, especially to the folks who don't hear this often. Let's make this clear. In hindsight, when we're honoring our priorities and when we're minimizing the distractions, we are not being mean. We are not being spiteful. We're not being hateful. We're not being standoffish. We're just prioritizing our futures, our destinies, our goals, and it's up to us to protect our energy. And if you know for sure you're around a set of folks who don't have the mindset you have, fine. That's absolutely fine. It's not up to us to change their minds, but it's up to us to protect our peace. It's up to us to protect our fight. And it's a fight on our own. It's a fight without distractions. So with distractions, it makes the fight harder. So with that being said, definitely know that you're not mean, you're not hateful, you're not any of those things. You're just focused. And maybe they should try it. Maybe they should try it. It's nothing wrong with gracefully saying, I'm just focused. And if you don't understand, fine. Just I say try it. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's all I have as far as discipline versus distraction. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Just in case you guys are new to me, I am Cornisha. I'm a purpose and personal development coach. I pretty much train women and men on how to monetize their gifts and talents and turn their dreams into their jobs. I teach personal development. I spread the knowledge on personal development. I teach mindset mastery, and I pretty much create a safe environment. I create a safe environment to where we can talk about things like distractions, things like discipline, and things like personal development, because I know for sure not everybody embraces those things. And in the event that they did, our world would be a better place, our communities would be a better place, our school systems would be much better for our babies. Like they say, the kids are our future. So it's up to us to actually stand on the things that we want to change and work towards changing those so we can make a better future for our babies again. So with that being said, I am Cornisha. I'm a purpose and personal development coach. I go live every night at 7:30. So until tomorrow, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for listening, and you have a beautiful, beautiful night. Good night, good night, good night. Good night, Instagram. Good night, YouTube. Good night, good night, good night.